What's up, everybody? I'm Dave from the Bog Toys and Collectibles, and today we're going to be unboxing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic black and white comic book series 4-pack bundle of joy from Playmates Toys. And it's not the first time we've seen these figures released. They actually came out about 5 years ago, but now they're available in this bundle with a comic book, which is, I guess, a re-release of the volume number 1, issue 11. But we'll get into that pretty soon. But yeah, of course, comes in this familiar 4-pack box that we've seen with other releases, such as the Mutant figure 4-pack. Except instead of the cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo, this time we've got the Eastman and Laird's TMNT comic book style logo with black ink on there. And you can see at the bottom here, it does say, "This is a set. Do not open." Well, we're going to go ahead and open this up and just totally ignore that little warning right there. But yeah, the first thing I did notice when I was about to open it is that there are 3 strips of tape on there. So it does look like one of them has been opened and then resealed, which kind of makes me wonder if this perhaps is just some of the leftover from the release that came out 5 years ago. And they threw in a comic book in there to try to sell them on again, but who knows. Either way, it's exciting to have this back here. So let's go ahead and crack this open and see what we have inside. We'll just break that seal one more time. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully I don't cut the comic book inside or something. I'm sure they probably thought about that. Alright, so let's check it out. So, first off, we have Donatello. Okay, let's put that to the side here. We have Michelangelo. Next up is Raphael. And last but not least, Leonardo. So, pretty cool stuff here. We've got all those in there. And I guess not last but least, here we have the infamous comic book that comes with the set now. And as you can see, it's the issue number 11 from originally released in 1987, but it does feature April O'Neil in her OG form there on the cover. And then the back, it looks like we've got some kind of advertisements for toys, but we'll get back to the comic book a little bit later. For now, I want to focus on these lovely figures here. So yeah, it's a familiar packaging that we've seen before, except this time on the backs, instead of the color, we've got the black and white version with all of their red bandanas on. Now the same packaging does come for each figure, except they have this little cardboard insert in there to differentiate between different packages. So each figure uses the same sculpt except for the head, so I'm just going to focus in on one of the figures here to unbox it. Let's go with Raphael, and we'll crack this open to see what we got inside here. I'll try not to take too long opening it, but I kind of like to keep the package in good condition if I can. It's hard to do under pressure though. But let's see here. Yeah, I might just have to rip this open, but we'll see. Let's give her one more pass here with the blade. Okay. Oh, I'm cutting into the blister. That's okay. Alright, that should hopefully do the trick. Let's open them up. Oh yeah, we're just gonna rip this apart. Who cares, right? Alright. So let's see how many tie downs we get this time. Hopefully I can just get them out. Well, there's our collector card, first of all. Definitely not a super sturdy piece of cardboard in there, but a collector card nonetheless, with an image of that original sketch with a red bandana instead. Of course, the original one I've got here, he didn't have that red red bandanas because it's just black and white comic book, but either way, we do have that. So this might take a minute, but let's start with this little twist tie piece in there. Get that out. I wonder if I could just kind of yank him and get him out here. Let's try. Yeah, I guess that works. Except his huge feet are getting stuck on there. There we go. So there you have it. Let's get the rotating stand here so that we can check out some good rotationals. Now he's nice and easy to make stand up with those huge feet on there. And let's grab some accessories to check out as well. We've got two sides, of course, because this is Raphael. Again, really stuck in there. So let's arm him with his weapons. There's one sai in that hand. Another sai over here. Now he doesn't have any where to store his weapons, unfortunately, but you can get a nice pose in there anyway. Now let's take a look at that comic book, because unlike previous releases of this particular set, this is kind of what sets it apart here. The bundle comes with this lovely comic book, and of course, as we mentioned before, it does feature the OG version of April O'Neil on the cover there, and originally released in June of 1987. But let's open it up here. It comes in a little cellophane pack here. Okay. Yeah, it just looks really good. It's a nice book. It's a lot of pages in there. Of course, as opposed to the original one, which had like a nice spread. If you open the cover, you'd see the other turtles on the back. But this one just kind of advertises some other toys that have recently been released. Of course, there's the original sketch series and the remastered series down here. But yeah, it's definitely cool to get another chance at having this comic book. As you can see inside, it's very similar to what was released before. And nice high quality pages here. So it's all black and white. None of the red ink like you might expect with the figure design. But yeah, it's the full comic there. And this particular issue does kind of follow April O'Neil's diary, so you get a lot of her handwriting here on the pages, and some of it I find a little bit hard to read, her cursive, but either way, that's all right. And then back page, we do have another advertisement for a lot of the other figures that have been released recently, like we've got the 2003 figures there, the movie star storage shell, and of course we've got the colored versions of these figures as well. So definitely a cool little extra to have in there with this comic book to be bundled in again. Excited to have that, and very cool. So back to the figure. I guess we can compare it to some other releases that we've seen, such as the original sketch here. Original sketch black and white turtle, which I think does a much nicer job at kind of representing the black and white lines. Instead of kind of the black paint wash that we've got with the comic book series, the original sketch seems to just have applied the black paint kind of as solid lines. It looks more like brush strokes even, and you can really notice that on the shell as well. So let's put him up against some other releases of Raphael just to get an idea of how he stands up against them. Here is the original Playmates 1988 release of the figure, and as you can see, it's a similar scale, about 4.5 inches tall, and this one of course has those little holsters for his sai, where this one doesn't have anywhere to put them when you're not using them. So probably best just to keep them in his hand, because if you got them with the other figures, it's really the only way that you're going to be able to tell them apart is with the varying accessory weapons. But either way, that's pretty cool. Let's again put them up next to the color version release of this exact sculpt, and much nicer I think with the black and white, especially it doesn't look like he's got kind of chunks missing from his skin like this one. It really helps let you know that they're going for that cross-hatch technique in a three-dimensional space there. Other than that, we got... Let's go ahead and put him up against this TMNT Next Mutations Shredder action figure. So they can kind of play together too. You're dead, freaks! Nobody trespasses on purple dragon turf and gets away with it, especially when they're wearing stupid turtle costumes. Oh yeah, well, this isn't a costume. Oh no! That'll teach you, Shredder. Ha 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 ha. Alright, well, yeah, I mean, that's the TMNT Black and White series action figures. And, of course, those are available now at the Bog Toys and Collectibles, thebog.com. We've got them for sale currently at their manufacturer's suggested retail price of $89.99, or $89.95 technically. So it's a little bit of a pricey set, but I think worth it when you consider you get this limited edition comic book reissue here as well. So yeah, and of course you get the cards for each figure as well, and you know, can't go wrong. It's a pretty cool set. I think it's worth picking up. I'd probably give it a 4 POA out of 5 points of appreciation. So yeah, cool, check it out. Hopefully you enjoyed the show this week, and until next time, keep on bogging. See you later.